Hey guys, so welcome back to the series. In the first video, we talked about just the basics of what future is. If you haven't watched that video yet, I just recommend starting there because it'll make everything in this video much easier to understand. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through the platform that I use, which is Webull. I use that to trade futures. I use it to trade options. So I'm just going to show you the basics of how the platform works, explain important parts, and walk through like charting and everything when it comes to using Webull on the desktop and the phone, so you're not confused when you open it for the first time. And again, I like to keep things simple and straight to the point, but remember, simple doesn't always mean easy. So let's get into it. So before we jump into the actual platform, let's quickly talk about what a broker is. That's where we left off in the last video. So a broker is the platform that allows traders to access the financial market and place trades. Without a broker, you wouldn't be able to buy or sell anything like stocks, futures, options. A broker basically acts like the middleman between you and the market. So again, some popular brokers for futures is Webull, Tradeovate, Interactive Broker, Ninja Traders. But personally, I like using Webull, like I said, because it's just really simple to use. And I'm going to show you that in this video. All right. Now, before you can trade futures on Webull at all, you have to apply for a futures account. So that's usually in your settings. Once you create an account, it'll have you go ahead and create an account. Once you create an account, you'll start your application process. You're not allowed, you won't be able to just open a futures account if you already don't have an individual account. I'll leave a link in the description so you can follow along in a video that'll help you open a level 2 account. So if you do decide to trade options, you can place as many trades as you want with the level 2 account, and it has to be a cash account. So once you go through the process, you'll answer a few questions about your trading experience and things like that, your financial background, and just making sure you understand the risks that is involved with trading options and futures. If you do decide to do options and futures, you do have to go in and answer those specific questions as well. And then once you complete the application and submit it, we will review your information and determine whether your account is approved for future trading. So, like I said, I'm going to leave a link in the description on how to actually open like the individual account to get approved. It's specifically for options, but once you get to the screen that tells you which ones you want to open, make sure that you check futures as well, or options and futures, however you want to do it. Okay, so after you're approved, you'll then be able to access future markets like the NASDAQ, the SP 500, gold, directly from the Webull platform. So, or you can use TradingView. Some people have separate accounts, so they'll use Webull or they'll use Tradeovate, and they'll use like Thinkorswim or TradingView. I personally use Webull for everything. So in this video, I will just be going over Webull, not TradingView or anything else. So once your future account is approved, the next step is finding your futures contract inside the trade. So I am going to start by showing you how to do it on the desktop so that it makes sense. Okay, so now that you are approved, you'll be able to access different markets like the NASDAQ, the SP 500 directly from the platform. So once you pull up the platform, this is what it looks like. So, you have your stocks, you can create watch lists, you have the different markets you can choose from, and it really gets kind of crazy and it can get really complicated. you know, first starting out, you don't know what you're looking at. I get it. But over time, your eyes will get accustomed to just staying on what you need to look at, which is the stocks. You can edit it to make it, functional for you by going in and clicking like this and removing stuff, adding stuff. I simply just have my chart and my watch list. It's easy on the eyes for me. I can get into, the details in the comment sections. Like if you have any questions on how to edit it, just leave your questions in the comment sections and I'll just answer it that way, then going into details in this video when it comes to it. Now, once you're inside your Webull, app, when it's on the desktop, the first thing you want to do is you want to find a contract. So for example, if we wanted to trade gold, the symbol for gold is GC. I'm doing futures and I would click this one. So we'll get into the details of the names in a little bit, but this is how you would pull up a chart. So you just type in what you're looking for. Say I was looking for platinum or silver, SI. Make sure it's on futures, silver. So that's how I would do it. It'll automatically add to your recently viewed watch list. If you want to remove it, you can right click and delete it. So once again, you can right click and delete it. So that's how you add and remove a contract or whatever instrument you're trading. So as you can see, there's different types of the same instrument. For example, regular gold is GC. That's the name of the symbol, right? This is the full contract of gold. If you wanted to trade a micro version of gold, you would just put an M in front of it. It's literally as simple as that, right? If you follow along my journey, then you know we trade MNQ, right? That is the micro version of NQ. All right, so we have the full contract of NQ and then the micro contract of NQ. Same with ES. And I'm going to delete these so it doesn't get complicated on my end. Delete that. All right, and then same with ES. We have the full contract, which costs more, and then we have the micro contract, which is 1/10. So that's how that works. When you select the contracts, Webull will automatically open up the chart for you where you can view the chart, analyze the price action, and eventually place trades. But again, we'll get into that in a separate video. I just wanted you to see what it looks like on the desktop. You can add indicators if you want to. I don't use indicators, but you can. Let me go to one I'm not. Let's do gold. All right, you can mark up on your chart, so you can use trend lines. What else do they have? You can I use my lines. You can change them. You can change the colors, things of that sort. You also have, rays. You have something else that I use a lot is my rectangles to mark up my zones. You can change the colors. You can add text, things like that. You can make it thicker. You can make it darker. However you want to do that. Another thing that I use that I know a lot of people use specifically on TradingView are these positions to let you know how much you're risking when you're entering the trade. So say you got into this trade, let's say you thought it was going to sell. You put in for shorts, say you got in right here, you wanted to go for a 1-to-1. As you can see, it's already at a 1-to-1. So if you lose and it hits stop loss, this is a big candle. So 346 ticks is a lot. But if you lost, it'll be 346 tick worth. But if you won, it'll be, a 1-to-1. It's If you watched the previous video, I did get into ticks a little bit, so I'm not going to get into it to that. But yes, you can also adjust it if you want it to go for a 1 to 2 or 1 to 3. I know a lot of people use this when it comes to TradingView. I love the fact that Webull has that, because that was the main reason I was using TradingView. And once I found out Webull had it, sold. So again, if you're going for buys, you'll click longs, and then you'll put it in where you entered, and it'll let you adjust your stop loss, your take profit, and things of that sort. So I know some people use Fibonacci. They have that. They have text and all that. So you can change the intervals at the bottom. So your 1 minute, your 5 minute, your 15, your 30. You can add to your favorites. So let's say I wanted to look at a monthly. You could do that. You could remove. So literally everything that you would need, it's all on Webull. Okay, so let's say you are not able to trade on a computer or anything like that, and you only have your phone. It's the same way. Pulling up the chart is the same way. So you will type in the name, so MNQ. You'll click it, and right here, as you can see, it says chart. Right here, it says chart. What you'll do is you'll click these 2 arrows right there. It's right in this corner right here. You'll click that, and then you have your chart. So you can adjust it, you can zoom in, you can scroll, things of that sort. You can turn it sideways if you need to, whatever works for you. Right here at the bottom, you still have everything that you need as far as like your trend lines, your risk to ratio is the only thing that isn't on here, but everything else is on here. That is the only thing. You can change it to candles. So when you zoom in, you have candles. You can change the color. Like, you can get into all the details, but it literally looks the same. You have everything you need right here. And like I said, you can do it sideways, or you can do it as your indicators. And that's it. That's how it looks. Now that you know how to open and access the futures market on Webull, in the next video, I'm going to break down on how you actually read the chart and understand what you're looking at before you actually take the trade. So I'll see you in the next video.